She could broker multinational deals in 5 languages, yet she stood powerless as her silent daughter drifted further from her reach. Callista Morgan had nearly a decade to master sign language as she hadn't succeeded. Then, one quiet Saturday, a widowed father managed in 5 minutes what she had never been able to do. He made her daughter laugh. What he revealed afterward shattered her understanding of what it meant to protect her child. The autumn light washed over San Francisco in warm gold, stretching along the polished glass of the financial district. Callista stood at the windows of her corner office, watching the city stir beneath her. At 40, she helmed one of the West Coast's most formidable real estate empires. Her reputation, a blend of awe and fear, whispered around boardroom tables. Her reflections showed a striking, disciplined woman, a platinum hair in its precise bun, sharp cheekbones, eyes like frozen oceans. Yet beneath that immaculate surface lived exhaustion no achievement could quiet. 8 years had passed since she became a single parent. 8 years since the phone call that shattered her life and left her gathering the pieces alone. She could still hear the police officer's voice. Remember the antiseptic hospital corridor. Remember going home and facing her 2-year-old daughter who kept asking why daddy didn't come back. Astrid Morgan was 12 now, a delicate, thoughtful, with her father's chum-bright eyes. Born with the rare neurological condition, she'd lost her voice before she even learned to use it. At first the doctors offered hope, but as the years moved on, it became clear her voice would remain forever locked inside her. Callista tried to learn sign language with the same intensity she brought to negotiations worth millions, but the effortless fluidity of native signers never came to her. Their conversations often fell apart into confused gestures, guesses, and tangled misunderstandings that left them drifting farther apart. The intercom snapped her from her thoughts when Harper's warm, familiar voice filled the office. 5 years together had made her more confident than assistant, though Callista never allowed the closeness to deepen beyond careful boundaries. "Your 9 o'clock is here," Gwen said gently. And Yamamoto-san called from Tokyo. "He's uneasy about the new leadership rumors. His grandson uses JSL, so this is personal for him." "Also a broken bar. You promised Astrid you'd take her to that cafe till the copyright on Valencia." She had forgotten. Again, guilt twisted in her chest. "Its presence constant these days." "Tell Yamamoto-san I'll call him at noon Tokyo time," she said, "and cancel the 9 o'clock. Cancel everything until noon. I'm taking my daughter to breakfast." "The board won't like it," Gwen warned softly. "Marcus Henderson is already making noise about your divided attention." "Let him," Callista answered, though she knew the cost might be considerable. Half an hour later she stood outside Astrid's bedroom in their cavernous Pacific Heights home, a house far too big for 2 people who barely communicated. She knocked, then stepped inside. Astrid was dressed, sketchbook in her lap, sitting by the window. When she saw her mother in casual clothes instead of the usual power suit, surprise brightened her features. "Ready for our breakfast?" Callista signed carefully. Astrid lit up as sun breaking through cloud and nodded eagerly, grabbing her purple butterfly backpack. The Valencia Street Cafe till the copyright was everything their house wasn't: noisy, cheerful, alive. Maple leaves pressed against the windows like stained glass, and the smell of fresh coffee filled the air. While ordering at the counter, Callista kept glancing at Astrid, small, alone at a table meant for 4. Other children her age chattered with their parents. Astrid sat in silence, tucked inside her solitary world. Then the door chimed. A man entered with a little boy, a messy sandy hair, dinosaur sweater, holding a beloved stuffed triceratops. The father followed, a tall, gentle-eyed behind wire-rimmed glasses, dressed in worn jeans and soft flannel. Before anyone could react, the child darted toward Astrid's table, drawn by her drawing. Callista tensed, ready to intervene. Then something astonishing happened. The father approached and instead of speaking, began signing. "Fluid, graceful, native movements," he asked, in ASL, whether his son Oliver could look at her artwork. Astrid came alive, yet truly alive. Her hands moved confidently, beautifully, expressing ideas she never managed to share with her mother. She described the leaves, the way each one was different, the way they moved. When Callista returned to the table, the man smiled warmly. "I'm Elias Bennett," he said softly, a slight southern gentleness to his voice. "This is Oliver." He didn't mean to intrude. "Yeah, he just loves art." "How do you a question mark?" Callista gestured awkwardly toward the signing. "My mother taught at the California School for the Deaf for 30 years. ASL was my first language before English." Oliver was already adding crayon strokes to Astrid's drawing with her enthusiastic approval. They collaborated effortlessly, Astrid narrating in signs, Oliver illustrating with wide, delighted gestures. "She's remarkably expressive," Elias said. "Her vocabulary is strong. Look at her facial grammar, perfect. She isn't just signing, she's speaking." The compliment hit her hard, because it wasn't her done, it was Astrid's resilience. "I'm still learning," Callista admitted. "I feel like I'm failing her." "Every parent feels like that," Elias replied softly. "Oliver's mom died when he was 3. I make mistakes every day. Showing up matters more than perfection." He mentioned a Saturday family class for signing. Astrid might enjoy it. Callista might improve too. But before she could respond, her phone vibrated urgently. 5 missed calls, 3 headlines calling her absent. CEO, Henderson stirring trouble, tech blogs posting photos. The world she built was cracking under her feet. She rose to leave, thanking Elias. He handed her a simple business card. "Astrid is welcome anytime," he said. "You too." The week became a battlefield of articles, investor fury, Henderson scheming, but Callista's thoughts kept drifting back to Astrid's joyful face and the Café copyright. By Thursday, Gwen placed an article on her desk. "They're calling you the distracted CEO," Gwen said, "but maybe you should take Astrid to that class anyway." So she did. Saturday morning, wrapped in fog, they arrived at the community center, its walls painted with colorful signing hands. Elias was inside setting up. His smile when he saw them was bright enough to cut through the gray. The class changed everything. 15 families learning together. Elias teaching not just vocabulary but culture, space, grammar, the way ASL lived in the body. When break came, Astrid, usually the quiet child in the corner, stood up, tapped the table confidently, and gathered the children into a signing game she led.